The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 756,116. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 10,392. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 3,835, with total confirmed deaths at 85. We anticipate those numbers to change as the county updates its last 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Ben McCain. It's 4 p.m. on Thursday, December 31st. Happy New Year's Eve to all of you at home, and thanks so much for joining us. As we mark the last day of 2020, the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health announced another grim milestone in the COVID-19 pandemic. More than 10,000 confirmed coronavirus-related deaths now. As of Wednesday evening, 272 additional new deaths were attributed to COVID-19. To give you a little perspective of how rampant the virus has spread and how much the number of positive infections has increased, just 2 months ago, LA County experienced about 1,200 new cases per day. This past week, there has been an average of 13,000 new cases per day, a tenfold increase in daily cases since early November. Public health officials also reported the highest number of COVID-19 hospitalizations ever reported since the pandemic began, with 7,415 people with COVID-19 currently in the hospital, with 20% of those patients in the intensive care unit. The mortality rate among the Latino and Latinx community are also startling, with nearly 16 deaths per 100,000 people attributed to this demographic. The daily death rates among this group is also twice as high compared to African American and Asian residents. Director of the county's public health department, Dr. Barbara Ferrer, reminded the public that anyone returning or coming to LA County from outside the greater Southern California region is required to quarantine at home for a minimum of 10 days to help slow the spread of the virus. The Southern California region includes not only Los Angeles County, but also Imperial, Inyo, Orange, Mono, Riverside, San Bernardino, San Diego, San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, and Ventura counties. Public health officials are urging the public to not let their guard down and gather in celebration of New Year's Eve tonight. Experts say the choices people make this evening could make a big impact in the direction of the pandemic. According to AAA, as many as 84.5 million Americans were expected to travel from December 23rd to January 3rd to celebrate the holidays and the new year. Health experts say that many are forgetting that the incubation period is 2 to 14 days, so even if you test negative before seeing family and friends, there is still a chance you could be spreading the virus. The county's revised temporary targeted safer at home order went into effect last night and is said to remain in effect for as long as the state public health officer's regional stay at home remains in effect in Southern California region. The region's hospital capacity, which is currently still at 0%, will also determine when the safer at home order will be lifted, as ICU capacity returns to a minimum of 15% for consecutive weeks. Everyone is encouraged to stay home tonight, avoid gatherings, and only leave for essential activities. Los Angeles County health officials are cautioning residents of the potential bacteria and dangerous hazards in ocean waters along the county's coastline. Due to the area's first storm this week, safety precautions are still in place through tonight. Things like chemicals, debris, trash, and other health hazards from city streets and mountain areas are likely to have contaminated ocean waters at and around storm drains. The public is warned that they could become ill if they swim in these waters. To learn more, you can go to publichealth.lacounty.gov/beach. The South Coast Air Quality Management District issued a residential no-burn alert through tonight. Residents living in Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties are reminded that wood burning in fireplaces or indoor or outdoor device is prohibited during this time. Smoke from wood burning is said to also cause health problems. These alerts are mandatory in order to protect the public health when levels of fine particulate air pollution in the region are forecast to be high. California Governor Gavin Newsom shared some optimistic news for school kids in the year. In the new school year, that is. Newsom announced $2 billion in state funding will be set aside to promote coronavirus testing, increase ventilation of classrooms, and personal protective equipment for faculty. In a press conference on Wednesday, Governor Newsom says the recommendation was driven by evidence that there are lower risk and increased benefits from in-person instruction, especially for the youngest students. Newsom called for a phased approach, focusing first on those in transitional kindergarten through second grade, as well as children with disabilities, those who have limited access to technology at home, and those who have said to struggle more than most with distance learning. While other grades would be phased in during the spring, remote learning would also continue for those who wish to opt out of returning on campus to keep learning from home. Newsom says he will push for more safety measures, including frequent testing for all students and staff, and up to weekly testing in areas with high rates of COVID-19 transmission. All students and staff should have masks and would make school staff a priority for vaccinations. Los Angeles County Supervisor Janice Hahn is asking California Governor Newsom for some much-needed help as the pandemic continues to surge in the Southern California region. In a letter written to Newsom, Hahn requested that he work to bring Army National Guard medical personnel and the Navy hospital ship users USNS Mercy back to Los Angeles. This was in response to the Southern California Public Service Workers Union's request for additional healthcare workers to be sent to all hospitals in the county to help them handle the surge. Hahn specifically asked for additional registered nurses, licensed vocational nurses, and respiratory care practitioners with the Army National Guard, stating that local healthcare workers are exhausted and hospitals overwhelmed. The USNS Mercy ship, which holds 1,000 beds, arrived at the Port of Los Angeles for the first time at the end of March to provide relief to Southland hospitals, anticipating a surge in patients the following month. The ship was brought in to treat non-COVID patients and to help free up hospital beds. Hahn says with the worst still to come, she urged Newsom to act swiftly in order to save as many lives as possible. Local residents are taking part in a new national vaccine trial taking place at the Peninsula Research Associates in Rolling Hills Estates. This is a new vaccine developed in partnership between pharmaceutical companies Sanofi Pasteur and GlaxoSmithKline. This study's vaccine includes adjuvants, which is an ingredient to help vaccines work better at boosting the immune system to develop antibodies against COVID-19. Phase 1 of the trial included a total of 441 volunteers, of which 73 were from the local clinic. All participants received one vaccination on the first day and a booster shot on the 22nd day. Early data showed that there is a clear difference between the two groups of trial participants. The ones who received 2 doses were far more effective than just receiving 1 dose. Our very own Debbie Hayes was one of the participants in the city. Debbie says her own mother, who lives in an assisted living facility and has dementia, is currently battling COVID-19. She said when she heard about the opportunity, she jumped at the chance to help participate and hopefully help others in the process. She shared this photo of her with other volunteers. She says she was part of the 2-shot regimen and has not experienced any side effects to date. Like all live events, the highly anticipated and highly attended Tournament of Roses Parade will not take place tomorrow. This is only the 4th time since the organization's inception in 1890 that the parade will not take place. Instead, organizers say they will televise a 2-hour special broadcast on New Year's Day. In a statement, the Tournament of Roses Association said the TV special will include live-to-tape musical and marching band performances by Sheryl Crow, Lady A, Tori Kelly, and Rascal Flatts, to name a few, along with heartwarming segments related to the Rose Parade. Celebrity guest appearances will also take place, including conversations with Emerald Lagasse, Vin Scully, Daddy Yankee, and much more. They'll also showcase some of the most spectacular floats from years past and highlights from past Rose Bowl games. The Torrance Rose Float Association is also celebrating a milestone year, marking what would have been the 50th anniversary. And despite the cancellation of the parade, the organization is celebrating with a socially distant, family-friendly Rose Float stroll and selfie mural. Thanks to local partnerships with the Torrance Historical Society, Street Fair Antiques, and Discover Torrance, the community is invited to take a selfie at Street Fair Antiques in downtown Torrance. Enjoy the window display and participate in a scavenger hunt. Find all 52 float pictures displayed in downtown Torrance, and you could win some great prizes. Forms can be picked up at any of these stores shown on this list in downtown Torrance. Be sure to return the completed form before the January 5th drawing. You can get more information at torrancerosefloat.org. Well, New Year's Day also means a number of new laws that will take effect. Hundreds of bills, in fact, have passed through California's legislature to enforce stricter rules, provide more diversity, and provide more protection for workers. Some of the new laws include minimum wage increases. According to the state's labor commissioner's office, a minimum wage increase for all industries will take effect tomorrow, moving the rate up to $14 an hour. Now, for small businesses with 25 employees or less, the minimum wage will increase to $13 an hour. And beginning tomorrow, employees must provide written notice of COVID-19 exposure to employees on the worksite premise, as well as provide information about COVID-19 related benefits and rights offered to workers who are exposed. Assembly Bill 685 asks employers to provide a comprehensive plan for disinfectation and must also report the exposure to their local public health agency within 48 hours. Expecting moms will find comfort knowing California's Family Rights Act is expanded. Currently, the law requires companies with 50 or more employees to offer 12 weeks of family leave. Now, thanks to Senate Bill 1383, the law expands those protections by requiring companies with 5 or more employees to grant the same amount of leave, family leave. Then starting in February, those who inherit property must use it as their primary residence or have its tax value reassessed, thanks to Prop 19, which narrowly passed in the November election. And beginning in April, homeowners 55 and older are those who lost their home in a disaster will also be able to transfer their tax assessment to a more expensive home 3 times instead of the current one-time allowance. Then beginning in July, violating the hands-free law for a second time in 3 years will mean steeper consequences for drivers caught texting while on the road, as 1 point will then be added to your record. According to the Department of Motor Vehicles, 4 points within a year, 6 points within 2 years, and 8 points within 3 years could lead to a suspended license and increase in insurance coverage. Torrance police are warning the public about an increase in catalytic converter theft recently and are asking residents to be aware and stay vigilant. Authorities say to park inside a garage if possible or in your driveway. When out in public, park your car in a well-lit or well-attended area. Always lock your vehicle, including windows, trunk, and sunroof. Do not leave valuables inside your car, and be sure to know where your keys are, as one of the easiest ways for someone to steal your car is to steal your keys. Torrance police also say to help in the recovery of a stolen catalytic converter, to have your license plate number etched on your converter. Back in October, Torrance detectives were able to link suspects to numerous thefts in Torrance and throughout the South Bay. Police say the suspects stole from victims' cars while they were parked in shopping centers and crowded areas during daytime hours. In recent years, the Torrance Police Department has seen a rise in catalytic converter theft and attempted theft. According to their records, in 2016, there were 55 reports of theft or attempted theft, 72 in 2018, and 369 reported to date. Their data shows that thieves are not targeting any one specific area, but it's occurring citywide. Now, to report suspicious activity or to contact the non-emergency hotline, call 310-328-3456. Police say if you see something, say something. Well, the tradition of Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest continues with some modifications in place. Now, in its 49th year, the star-studded lineup of performances from New York, Los Angeles, and New Orleans is sure to keep people at home entertained for hours leading up to the New Year's countdown. While normally this event would draw millions to New York City's Times Square, this year it is closed to the public due to the pandemic. Sending off 2020 includes an interview with President-elect Joe Biden and soon-to-be First Lady Jill Biden, as well as performances by Cyndi Lauper, Megan Thee Stallion, Machine Gun Kelly, Brandy, Miley Cyrus, Doja Cat, Nelly, and headlining Jennifer Lopez. Host Ryan Seacrest will be joined by co-host Lucy Hale, Billy Porter, Sierra, and Big Frida. The show airs live at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC. And if you're looking for live entertainment tonight, a number of musicians are staging their own New Year's Eve concerts, live streaming their shows for fans across the world. Kiss, Justin Bieber, BTS, the Avett Brothers, as well as Lucinda Williams are just a few of the artists offering paid packages to watch their concert from the comfort of your home. Well, one thing that will be free to watch for 24 hours is the upcoming Community Cooking Marathon, shown right here on Torrance Citi Cable, beginning at midnight. Join the producer, Jen Chun, along with the show host, Maria Prekagis, Kurt Lyons, and Jeff Kawakami, as they meet for a virtual roundtable and share some of their favorite episodes. From marriage proposals to exotic recipes you'll only find on this show, you won't want to miss it. You'll hear never-before shared stories and behind-the-scenes context from some of the most fun episodes of Community Cooking, which is one of the longest-running programs on Torrance Citi Cable. You can catch the Community Cooking Marathon all day on our channel, as well as streaming online beginning January 1st. Well, as we head into the weekend, be sure to tune in to Weekends in Torrance. New episodes air at 2 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Leslie Robbins talks with a local florist to find out how she is keeping her business running during this stay-at-home order and how the business of flowers has remained relevant during the pandemic. Then on Saturdays, the Torrance Farmers Market invites the public to shop for the freshest ingredients sourced from local farmers, find out what safety measures are in place to ensure shoppers have minimal COVID exposure. Plus, Chatto Tea Room will be closed for outdoor dining and tea sipping, but we sat down with the folks at this local establishment prior to the most recent closures to talk about what measures are in place when they are forced to shift operations and make it a takeout-only business model. These stories and much more, be sure to tune in this weekend at 2 p.m. You can find us on Spectrum Cable Channel 3, Verizon Fios Channel 31, streaming on our website, as well as on YouTube. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community, feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Well, as everyone looks forward to a healthier and brighter 2021, we would be remiss not to reflect on all that the city, county, state, and nation has endured over the last 10 months. It has truly been historic and hopefully only a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience. To all those lives that have been lost due to this pandemic, we will never forget. And to all those who continue to wear a hero's cape in the form of healthcare workers, first responders, frontline workers, and essential employees who continue to risk their lives on a daily basis to continue providing essential services to the public, the community sees your extraordinary level of bravery and heroism. Time and time again, the community's resilience was also tested over the course of the past 10 months. From Torrance residents to organizations, business owners, and even city staff, responding quickly to the turn of events, the shutdowns, reopenings, and shutdowns again. In a matter of weeks, the city of Torrance temporarily closed its doors to the public to put safety measures in place to be able to bring back employees and the public in a safe way. Safety protocols were put in place at locations like the Farmers Market, Madrona Marsh, Sea Air Golf Course, the Permit Center, libraries, the Torrance Transit buses, and much more to continue to offer the community essential city services with minimal interruptions. Teachers, students, and families had to quickly make adjustments to become proficient in Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and any other platform that many were unfamiliar with and have also shown a level of unprecedented resilience even in our youngest residents. And we've seen it time and time again as we brought you 226 daily newscasts of COVID-19 today since the start of the pandemic. The efforts of community members looking out for one another, whether it's a neighbor or simply a stranger, they're looking to help, finding ways to make milestones in people's lives a memorable one. Despite the pandemic, birthday drive-bys, car parades, canceled graduation ceremonies turned drive-through diploma pickups, the thousands of masks donated by generous people, the random acts of kindness, meals donated to support frontline workers, the shift in business operations to ensure the public is protected, all simply to show support and kindness during the most difficult times. That's truly what makes this community so special and unique. We're looking forward to sharing more of these moments of kindness and caring as we head into 2021. As the author and novelist C.S. Lewis once wrote, "Now at last, they were beginning chapter 1 of the great story which no one on earth has read, which goes on forever, in which every chapter is better than the one before. Here's to beginning this new chapter called 2021. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you right here back on Monday, January 4th, as Leslie Robbins brings you the latest. In the meantime, have a safe weekend and a Happy New Year.
The doctor, or is this with the nurse practitioner? Fantastic. Dad, lunch. Got some soup for you.
You are loved.
Oh, you. Look at those freckles.
This was very much.
You are valued. You are strong. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving.